In the 2014 crisis, we did not have family detention or family residential centers to move those families into safe custody so that they could have their immigration hearings. And so many of them were being released. Everybody wanted to solve that problem. That problem in 2014 is 5 times smaller than the problem that's on the border today. And so these funds are important. And so what you said in your report, what you showed in the report, they're buying adult detention beds, and then they're funding the facilities for the Migrant Protection Program. Both of those are important features of us getting out of the biggest problem we have on the border in decades.
Okay, so with all of this as a backdrop, and you say that the plan is, what's happening now, and the numbers there are exponentially worse at the border. We know that Congress, I think it was $4.6 billion. They passed that for humanitarian aid at the border, but they did not want any of that money. They couldn't have gotten the Democrat votes if it was going to be for more detention beds. So you talk about this, and John talked about the number of families and people that have to be released. You know, for critics who look at this and say Democrats are complaining about something President Obama did, they will argue that essentially the Democrats' plan amounts to open borders. Because if you can't detain people and all you can do is release them into the U.S., how does that solve the problem?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You have to have people, you have to have a detention spot for people to have their hearing. They have to be detained until they can be removed. And if you don't do that, you effectively have an open border. People will come into the custody of the Border Patrol, they'll be booked in, they'll be released at the border, and then many of them will never go to their asylum claim hearing or their immigration hearing. So holding the line for single adults is important. The migrant protection protocols also give the department an important feature where people can wait for their hearing in Mexico. That'll eventually reduce the need for detention in the United States. But that program was designed in the last several months. This budget was developed and submitted by the president in February of 2018. So lots of changes to the dynamics at the border, not only the surge, but the capabilities that the department has.
Okay.